Okay, so today we are going to do a rainbow alcohol ink tumbler. Let's Resin reached out to me and asked if I wanted to be an affiliate, and of course I said yes because I love their product. You've seen me use their small inks before, and half of my molds are from them, so they told me I could have what I wanted, and I decided to go with alcohol inks, of course. So I picked two products. So this is what they sent me to start with. This is really nice. They sent me funnels, and this kit is great. But they sent me their Sinker White, the deeper white. So I'm going to use this for my white, of course. I'm just going to get one out because I obviously don't need both to start. And the rest I will just keep in the box for later. And then this ink I didn't even know they were making yet. They're calling it their flowing alcohol ink. Whereas the other set I have is more pastels, I guess you would say. So this is what comes in this box. It does have a blender, and it has an array of colors. So we're going to work with these. These will definitely need to be shaken up. But this says fluorescent rose, orange, yellow, I missed red, vivid red. So it does have a fluorescent yellow, but I think I'm going to use the regular yellow. I'm going to use the vivid green. I'm going to skip the turquoise. I think I'm going to use the cerulean blue, the cobalt blue, and the deep violet. So these are the colors I'm going to use. It's a 14 pack total, so I'm going to use actually most of them. I don't need the blender in this case. I will use that on a flow cup at some point, and then I'm going to use this for my white. So I'm going to get some white in the small bottle. I'm going to get over to the turner. I'm going to work on a 30-ounce skinny straight from Maker Flow. So I'm going to have plenty of room to use a whole lot of color. So I'm going to get my resin mixed up. I think I'm going to work with my Artistry Epoxy Fast Set, because I already started to pour a cup of that, and I think I'm on my last round of it, so this will finish up that ink for good. So, or that epoxy for good. I'll be all out. I'm going to get my heat gun ready in case I decide to use it. I'm going to get these shaken up, and we will get going. They did provide me with links to Amazon to use, and they gave me discount codes. I believe I have two different codes. It'll be turquoise 1 and turquoise 2. I will put them down in the description as well. I think one is for like pigments like my inks, and then the other one is for molds and other things. But I will copy and paste what they sent me with the discount code, so you can use those for Amazon. So I'll be back over at the turner. Okay, so I have 25 mLs of resin spread across this 30-ounce skinny. All of my inks are in front of me open. I'm going to start by just applying one line of each color, kind of evenly spaced out, and then I'm going to go into the white. So I have all my colors opened and ready. And I may work like the pink line, the red line, because these are going to be fairly thin lines. It's a lot of ink to put on a cup, even on a 30 ounce. Did I say 30 ounce or 20 ounce? It's a 30. You're not going to be able to see the color at first, so bear with it if you haven't seen me do one of these before. Wow, that pink is really fluorescent. Not sure I love that. Oops. If you touch your tip to your epoxy, wipe it off pretty quickly. You don't want epoxy drying on the tip of your bottles. I'm a little heavy-handed with a couple colors. That's fine. The yellow I'm going to kind of space out a little bit more. Just because sometimes the yellow gets like really taken over. So I'm going to move these back out of the way. I may come back in with more of them, but we'll decide when we get there. Whoop. Interesting. The sinker white might not work for this purpose. It may completely go under and go away. Huh. No, it's just going to take more, apparently. Very, very strange. And I did shake up the bottle before I transferred it to the small bottle, but I may not have shaken it enough. It's tough to say. So that was interesting and not what I expected. And like I said, the yellow, completely gone. The yellow looks orange. But that happens a lot, so that part of it doesn't necessarily surprise me. I may go pull that fluorescent out. Whoops. So I'm absolutely fascinated, to be honest. And I do have a completely uncoated spot right here. So I almost hesitate to even put any heat on this, because at this point I'm not sure what heat would do. Let it spin a minute. I'm gonna come down here real quick. I'm just gonna grab a white tile real quick. No epoxy. Just because I want to see the colors themselves. So okay, so the colors are, in fact, I'm trying to get it all the way in frame. The colors themselves are actually quite vibrant, except for the yellow. for whatever reason, yellow inks are quite often orange. So I'm going to grab that fluorescent yellow. And I'm even going to run some of that right on this cup. And I wish I had an available turner right now, because I would throw a white cup on and run that. So it's definitely not a pigment issue. I think it's an issue of the white. And that's way over inked, I know. I know I got muddy. This isn't really this isn't one I'm going to turn into a using coaster. I just wanted to see the colors on something else. So, you can see that the colors are in fact heavily pigmented. So, I am going to go ahead and grab my heat gun real quick and bring my cup back in frame. I'm almost thinking about grabbing some of my Pinata white and seeing if that pulls more color, if I can find it. Just because now I'm curious. So I'm going to let that spin a little bit. So maybe I didn't shake the white enough. I mean, it's possible. But the Pinata definitely brought more of the color back up. So that is curious to me. I am going to be using these Let's Resin inks a lot during Ink Week. I just, now that these arrived, I really wanted to use them quick. So that's basically what this was. I'm going to heat this real quick in a second. I do think now that I've mixed the Pinata in, I'm probably going to have some fish eyes open up. I kind of expect that, especially with a fast set resin. I skipped the green because the green wasn't where it belonged. But I'm going to grab my heat gun. I'm going to heat this real quick just to get a little movement. And yeah, I'm not unhappy with it. I'm just a little surprised at the way it behaved on a tumbler. I'm going to go in with low heat, high flame. I would like to tilt it a little bit, but I have to turn my gun off because I'm twisted up in another another turner's cord. So I'm going to just tilt it down a little bit. I just freed up the wrong freaking cord, clearly. Oh my god. I'll tilt it down for a second, and then I'm going to turn it the other way. And you can see, like I said, I've got fish eyes opening up. I'm going to come in and fill them in real quick. With just a gloved finger. Okay, so yeah, that was interesting. I'm actually not unhappy with the way these are pigmented by any means. I'm going to do some more experimenting with the white. Definitely shake it up more. Possibly even fill and try the other bottle. Just to see if it makes a difference. I'm kind of torn between using my glove or using a silicone brush, but I think I'm just going to go with my glove. I can't explain the fish eyes. I'm not even going to try to explain them. It just happens with the inks. Sometimes it's just a reaction of the whole thing. Sometimes I will have absolutely none. Sometimes I will have a ton of them. If you touch them up while it's wet, it's best. But if you don't, they do fill in on the next coat, generally speaking. And I actually didn't get that many, so it's just filling them in kind of like will mess up your pattern a little bit, your design, especially if your ink's not flowing terribly heavily. But I'm gonna watch it come around one more time, and then I'm gonna just let it be. But yeah, so rainbow alcohol swirl. We'll probably do another one of these, or another alcohol ink swirl, definitely during ink week. One of my favorite techniques. So I'm gonna let this go. I'm probably just gonna be done with this. This was to introduce the inks, and that was basically the purpose. So it'll probably get a True Colors decal, which you've seen, because I know I don't have one, and I definitely don't have one this size on hand. So, yeah, that's going to be it. I'm going to bring it up so you can bring it up or bring you down. I'm not sure which yet. Just trying to get my inks cleaned up a little bit. So, absolutely love these inks. The vibrancy of the colors is great. Except for, you know, the yellow, which is orange, which, again, pretty much every ink I've ever used, that's how it is. Unless it's a fluorescent yellow. But you can see some of the yellow in there, so here we go. It actually does have really cool texture and detail now, so like I said, I'm not unhappy with it. This is not a fail by any means. It's just I'm going to have to look at usage of the deeper white a little bit more. That may not be the best ink for a tumbler. It may work completely differently in a mold, in a deeper like it should work for blooms really well. So that is it. I will be back. You will see more of these inks during Ink Week, and have a great day. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.